What's up guys, it's your boy Enzo and welcome back to another episode of Mobile Legends Hero Guides and Tutorials. So for today, we will be tackling Hayabusa, or also known as the Crimson Shadow. The new season is up and there are a lot of changes in the laning system, and rotation made the jungler or core role as one of the key components in a team. But there are very few heroes that made it to the top tier list. The jungler's ability to gank lanes effectively is essential in early game. This will help your team achieve their specific objectives and gain huge advantage against their opponents on their respective lanes. So, in this episode, we will try to focus on the abilities of a specific hero that meets the criteria of an effective jungler. So without further ado, I will introduce you to the Crimson Shadow Hayabusa. Hayabusa is known to be dominating, especially in 1 versus 1 situations or solo pick-offs, which he deals a lot of damage with little amount of return because of his burst and escape mechanism. His high mobility and flexibility around the map made him very unique against any other jungler heroes. His ability to poke and slow enemies down will provide chances for his teammates to follow up. Now, starting with the basics. First, his emblem customization. The best emblem that you need to select for his efficiency is an assassin emblem. You should configure your emblem by maximizing his talent points on agility for additional movement speed. Invasion should be considered as well for an additional physical penetration, and high and dry to maximize his single target burst damage. For his spells, you will definitely need retribution for his jungler skills. Next, for the most important part, is his builds. For Hayabusa, in order to optimize him, you need to prioritize his farming builds, which is the Raptor Machete, for fast and effective farming, Magic Shoes for cooldown reduction, while Blade of Heptases, Blade of Despair, and Endless Battle for the improvement of his burst and true damage. And lastly, Queen's Wings for additional survivability, which will reduce damage taken by 30% when his health is lower than 40% and the physical lifesteal by 40% as well. But of course, this will vary each time and depends in the flow of the game. In the late game, interchanging Immortality and Queen's Wings is also advisable. Immortality provides resurrection but has a long cooldown, so better use it wisely. Moving on for his skills and abilities. His passive skills, the ninjutsu Trace of Shadow. Every time Hayabusa hits an enemy with his skills, he adds a mark on them. Each mark stacks and increases Hayabusa's ninjutsu damage by 5%. Next, for his first skill, the Phantom Shuriken. Hayabusa throws 3 shurikens forward, which travels in a certain distance and swiftly retrieves them back, kinda like a boomerang. A boomerang shuriken. Whatever, moved on. He slows down his enemies and restores a certain amount of energy for himself. This skill is best for poking enemies and an opener for his combos. Hayabusa also gains 3% of spell vamp from each 1 skill level up. For his skill 2, Quad Shadows, Hayabusa dashes forward and summons 4 shadows around him. He can transfer or teleport into these shadows by moving the skill wheel in the direction of the position of the Phantom Shadow. These phantoms or shadows has enough power to annihilate squishy targets, plus having existing passive stacks and deal more damage to the enemy. Specific shadow he cannot window for combos and follow-ups. This ability is also a perfect combination to dodge enemy attacks and serves as an escape mechanism. Lastly, for his ultimate skill, the Ogi Shadow Kill. This is where Hayabusa turns into a shadow and deals multiple single target damage in an area. And for the tips, you should avoid using his ultimate skill in a group of enemies at once since it will not be as effective and does not deal a lot of damage. In the early stages of the game, try to control the jungle because he has a lot of advantage during the entire game. Hayabusa works well with ambush assaults. In that way, you can maximize his burst ability by hiding in the bush to surprise single target enemies. You have to take note that creativity with its combination is the key for your advantage. For as long as you can maximize his passive stacks and perfect usage of his ultimate ability, and the quad shadows will ensure success as a jungle assassin. And another tip, Hayabusa is the best counter against marksman heroes such as Wanwan, Hanabi, Yusun Shin, Kimi, and Carry. This hero also works well with Sylvana and Franco for disabling enemies. Farsa and Chang'e is also a synergy to consider for faster wave clear, and Selena for map awareness. But if possible, avoid picking Hayabusa when Sun, Chu, Saber, and Akai are drafted by your enemy's lineup, because these heroes can really counter his abilities. And also take note, Hayabusa's ultimate ability can be countered by an item called the Winter Truncheon item, so be aware. If you don't know what this item is, it's an active item that will provide immunity for 2 seconds. And sometimes in a game, these 2 seconds matter. Always remember that timing is everything, and you have to be patient for perfect execution of your abilities, especially in clash scenarios. And target those squishy enemy core heroes as well. So anyway, that's pretty much it. We really hope that you learned a lot from this episode, and we hope you annihilate all those enemies in the ninja way. Anyway, this has been Enzo, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and don't forget to visit yugatech.com/gaming for more news, tips, and tricks. Anyway, stay safe.